Two idiots talking over stuff. Talking over. Talking over. Talking over.
Wow. What's up, you fucking idiots?
For like a quick second, I thought you were just gonna say what's up, and I was gonna be like, wow, feeling really polite today.
No, I would never.
I would never not insult our fans. Fans is a strong word.
Dude, we got more subscribers on YouTube than we have subscribed to our podcast.
Whoa, you guys listen to us. Thank you so much.
I think we got like organic YouTube followers.
Whoa. We might have a name soon.
Hell yeah.
And by we, I mean I and you. And I am Felicia, one of the hosts of this podcast. I'm at Felicia3 on Twitter and Instagram. And who are you?
Hi, I'm Al by Night on Twitter, and my real name is Jesse.
Whoa.
And we have a website. Where is that, you think?
That would be at www.idiots.fm. And on that website, you'll find links to everything, including our Discord, which is poppin', and that's where you can ask us things. You could also email us at hello@idiots.fm if you want to ask us something, but you don't want the rest of the Discord to see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're at Tito's Pod everywhere.
You can ask us anything. You can send your most intimate questions to that email.
You really can. I mean, we are not obligated to answer anything, but you can ask us whatever your heart desires.
Yeah, go for it. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. This is a free space.
I don't like how seductive that sounded.
What do you? No, it didn't.
Your voice just got raspier when you said that.
No, I was
ask us whatever you want.
I was imitating your people.
My people?
Your tribe, the Italians. No?
I don't think. I think there are a few different issues.
What are the issues, you think?
I mean, I don't know a lot of Italians that sound like that.
No, your whole family doesn't sound like this.
Especially my mom.
Oh, no, I don't like your version.
I'm just doing what
sounds
you're
like something's
doing.
Wrong.
Oh, God. Don't you have a bumper to play now?
Yeah.
You know, the time for asking
questions
is right now.
Wow, we did it.
Wow, I like that. It's nice and short and to the point.
Nice and short, to the point. I actually, I think I put the wrong version on there, so maybe it'll be a little different next week.
Oh, okay.
Have a little more pizzazz about it.
Interesting.
We have a question.
We have a question from Tatiana, or otherwise known as Tatana, aka Magicless Mage. She said, who do you think might be one of the next big breakout stars, or alternatively, who do you wish broke out bigger?
The next breakout star, I think, is going to be Jenna Ortega, who played, oh no, what's her name?
The meek one.
The meek one. Oh, Lorraine. She played Lorraine in X, which you hated and I loved.
Yeah, I did hate it.
But she kind of stole the show there. Would you agree?
Quite honestly, I don't remember most of the characters.
Well, she did good, and I think she's gonna blow up. She's got that it factor. And alternatively, who do you wish broke out bigger? This is a cop-out, but River Phoenix. I love River Phoenix so much.
I mean, she said alternatively, so you didn't have to, so cop-out is fine.
I really wish River Phoenix didn't die, because I love every single movie he was in. And the top of my list for River Phoenix movies is Explorers. But he was also good in Stand By Me.
I was too young.
Have you never seen Stand By Me either?
No.
We gotta watch that sometime. That's a classic.
I don't know that we do.
It holds up. That's a good movie. That's a classic.
Okay. My answer is either. So I cheated a teeny tiny bit, because these people I feel like are already breaking out, but like
Okay.
I hadn't previously seen them in much. So the first one is Daisy Edgar Jones, who was
Oh,
in
that's a good
Fresh.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, because I've since Fresh, that was the first time I saw her in Fresh. Since then, I've started to see her in more things, and
Yeah.
I feel like she's gonna keep going.
Yours is the correct yours is more of a correct answer than mine is.
The other one is Thomasine McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit. She played the Jewish girl that was hiding in the attic.
Oh yeah, she's good.
Yeah, and so she's she's already started being in more things like Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
But I think that she's like on that trajectory.
Right. Yeah, those are good.
Thank you so much. I came up with them literally 10 seconds ago.
Oh, you did good.
Thank you so much.
Was Jojo Rabbit lady your who do you wish broke out bigger?
No, I don't really have one specific. I think that
Let's
I
just
have
say
a lot
Mads
of
Mikkelsen.
No, Mads Mikkelsen broke out quite big. But kind of on that same note, there are a lot of like Danish and British actors who kind of broke out big in that language, or not, obviously
The
British.
accent. Yeah, the region.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of British actors that show up in the same British things over and over again, but haven't all made it over to like American streaming services.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's plenty of answers to this question, but they're all like super niche.
Yeah. I think you could put like Stephen Merchant even in that.
Remind me who that is?
That's Ricky Gervais's partner.
Oh,
like
okay.
Tall, lanky guy.
Oh.
He never blew up as much as I thought he should. That guy was really funny though.
Yeah, I think that like British productions, British TV shows and British movies kind of reuse the same actors over and over again.
Yeah.
But that's all you see them in for the most part. Not everyone like Daniel Radcliffe makes it over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my answer. It's just a really general actors from other countries and continents and states and whatever.
I really copped out and went with River Phoenix. That's like a hard question to answer. I should have.
That was an alternately. We didn't have to even answer that, but you had to be like, "Well, what's your answer?"
Mine's River Phoenix.
I've been playing out a lot of hypotheticals in my mind.
Hey, me too. You remember last week when Palka asked us about the actors and going to dinner?
I do.
I thought, let's just make that a whole segment.
Now, does that mean we're going to answer that same question over and over again, or are we going to eventually come up with new ones?
No, it was really hard coming up with an answer for this, so we can't answer this one over and over. I'll want to kill myself after like week 3.
True.
So maybe we'll have to hunt for a place to get hypotheticals. They should probably be like movie or TV themed. Yeah. Maybe the Discord can help.
Yeah, if you have a hypothetical, feel free to send it to us.
Palka just reminded me that I actually love hypothetical questions. I love thinking about weird shit. So it's pretty fun.
Yes, you've been known to create some interesting would you rathers.
Yes. Yeah, that's my bread and butter. So the hypothetical this week is you're going to dinner with 5 different characters from one actor. Which actor and which characters are you having over for dinner?
Oh, okay. I didn't interpret that correctly, but you go and I'll think of one.
I probably wrote it down incorrectly. I meant you're having 5 characters over for dinner that were played by the same actor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wrote it down badly. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I will gladly go first. I picked Tom Cruise as the actor.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting dinner.
I think so. So first I have Jerry Maguire because I love sports, and Jerry Maguire is like a sports agent, so I could talk to him about sports we could like go outside and smoke and have a talk about it. If I was back in my 20s and still smoked, but I feel like that would be a fun time. Also Brian Flanagan from Cocktail, where he played a bartender so he can make all the drinks for everybody. And I feel like that'd be a good time.
You just want people at your dinners who can like cook for you and make you drinks.
Yeah. Dude, I really thought this through because yeah, why not? Why not have
It's
like a
good that you did,
professional
because I didn't even kind of.
Well, that's fine. Why not have like a professional bartender?
Yeah, why
Like a
not?
superhero bartender who can make anything you want. And then Barry Seal from American Made, and that's a drug runner for the CIA in the 80s. I just want stories.
Okay.
I feel like that guy's got a fuck ton of stories. And then I picked Cage from Edge of Tomorrow. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow is a good boy. Where basically Tom Cruise is like reliving the same day of a battle over and over. Like he's like a soldier, and every time he dies, he comes back to the same day and he has to go to the same battle. So he's like learning tactics to try to get through this battle. But I picked him so he can tell me everything that's going to happen today, such as lottery numbers.
Oh, that's a good plan.
Yeah. Or sports scores, so I could bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like if it's only a day's worth, I couldn't ruin my life. Like, because do you remember like Back to the Future 2?
Mm-hmm.
Where Biff is like just like becomes basically Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because he's like betting on all of the games.
I mean, I don't think that would happen to literally anybody in that same situation.
No, well, I couldn't control myself in that situation. So I kind of like this where I just get the lottery numbers one time.
Okay.
And then I picked Lestat from Interview with the Vampire. So
okay.
I picked that one so he can turn all of the other characters into vampires, which completely changes the stories those characters are in for like a fresh experience. So my thought is all of those characters go back to their universe as vampires. So suddenly you've got Jerry Maguire as a vampire, like turning sports legends into vampires too, and they become like super sports people.
I feel like you'd be one of those people who would travel back in time and change something that would fundamentally change history forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be fun. Like, what the fuck do I care? I would fuck with history in a second.
Yeah.
And then you got like vampire bartender. That's a horny story.
Yeah.
You got vampire drug runner. And then if that Cage from Edge of Tomorrow was a vampire, that story would be completely different. He would fuck everything all up.
Do you think vampires can do drugs?
That's an interesting question. They don't, I guess they're pale and cold because they don't really have blood streams, or do they?
But in that one episode of What We Do in the Shadows TV show, they drank from people who had done drugs and then they got really high.
That's true.
I don't know if that is, scientifically accurate.
I never really thought about it. I don't think you could get high as a vampire.
Probably not.
Because you don't have like running blood, and you need that. But interesting. I guess if you like bite someone who's high, it might just go into your brain.
Maybe.
I don't know. Interesting. That's a good question. I've never thought about that.
Thank you so much.
All right. Who's your actor?
Okay. So I think I have a good one.
Okay.
So mine would be Taika Waititi.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
So these are the characters. So you got Korg from the Avengers movies.
Right.
We're going to do Viago from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, of course.
We'll do Blackbeard from Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah.
We'll do the Holy Storch from 7 Stages to Achieve Eternal Bliss. He was charismatic cult leader.
Yep.
Who sang a lot. And then the last one would be Hitler from JoJo.
Hitler, huh?
Yeah.
It might actually be interesting to have dinner with Hitler.
But it's not even Hitler. It's this little boy's version of Hitler.
That's true.
Like his imaginary friend who just so happens to be based on Hitler.
Oh, so you don't want like historical Hitler. You want like this jokey Hitler.
Well, no, I want Taika Waititi's character, Hitler.
Yeah. And I like that one. We need to watch I need to watch Jojo Rabbit again because it's not fresh in my mind.
I've seen it many times because I've showed it to a lot of people. It's a real good movie.
I've seen it more than once. And that year, it was at the top of my list for the best movie of the year. But I need to watch it again. I'm having trouble like remembering how he played Hitler, but I think he did it like tongue in cheek, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That would be
offering
fun.
this 10-year-old kid a cigarette all the time.
He got Hitler and Blackbeard at the same table.
Yeah. I just think that it makes for a good variety of characters.
I think yours is really fun.
Thank you so much.
Mine wouldn't be as fun.
No.
But
Mine is more whimsical.
It would fuck up a bunch of movies that people love, and I like that about it.
Yeah.
Felicia.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, I went to my parents' house for the weekend, and my aunt and uncle were visiting from the East Coast.
From Italy?
Nope.
East
That's
Coast
certainly
of
not on the
Italy?
East. Nope. And I went to the movie theater for the first time in probably 2 or 3 years at this point.
Whoa, really?
Well, since pre-pandemic.
Yeah, I guess that. Have you been freaked out about like COVID, or is it
Not
like you're just
really.
going out is annoying?
Yeah, I think that in general, I just haven't been going out anywhere near as much since COVID. And like there also hasn't been a lot of movies released at theaters that I've had any interest in seeing.
Right.
Of course, when they come out, they all come out at once. But yeah, I went to see a movie that I'll talk about more later.
Oh.
I saw Thor: Love and Thunder with my mom and my aunt.
Oh, hell yeah.
And also, while I was there last night, I made the decision, because I'm usually very, very picky about movies that I'll show my parents, because A, they're my parents,
Yeah.
and B, they're like very conservative people, very conservative religious people. So even like movies with a lot of swearing, I know they're going to complain about.
Right.
So I'm usually very, very careful about what I show them. But I was like, this movie is just too good not to share. So I made the decision to show them Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Hell yeah. The only thing about that movie is the butt plugs, right?
That, and there is a scene where Jobu Tupaki fights someone with dildos.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to sit through with my parents.
Were they laughing?
No, they didn't make a sound.
Oh no.
Which, like, I knew that they weren't going to be enormous fans just because of how, like, silly it is.
Oh man. Were they sitting through the whole thing stone-faced?
Dude, I couldn't, like, I really thought my mom would at least chuckle during the butt plug thing, because she's like, she loves butt humor.
Yeah, just not things in butts.
I guess not. So yeah, that did not get us, neither of them made a sound. Except at one point about halfway through the movie, my dad said, "This is like a bad dream."
Yeah.
But
that's a nightmare.
I think because the end goes so hard with like the relationship between mother and daughter, and I won't get too much more into it. Like it almost redeemed it for them. I think it, like, after it was over, I asked my mom, like, did you hate it? And she said, no, I didn't hate it. It was very weird.
Yeah.
And she's like, they just took a really strange approach to dealing with this topic. And I was like, I mean, yeah, they did. But
really
I
entertaining.
love it. Yeah. But then we did joke about the hot dog fingers universe.
Yeah.
So, but then my dad's comment was, why did you do this to us? So I think my dad just straight up hated it. And I think
some people just like linear storytelling.
Yeah. They don't really tend to like things that are just silly.
My brother's fiance stopped watching it halfway through.
Oh no. I'm glad they didn't walk out. I thought for my dad it was like a 50-50 chance, to be honest.
Oh wait, did you see it in a theater?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
But like he could have left the room.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I think that movie is kind of one that at some point should be watched with parents, or at least like shown to parents, because there is a lot of life lessons in there about the dynamic between parents and their children, and how pushing your children too hard to achieve stuff fucks with them real bad.
The overarching narrative is a good
so I kind of think because of that, like, because that was driven home so hard towards the end of the movie, they couldn't say too much against it.
Right.
But yeah, it was an interesting experience.
There's nothing I hate more than watching something with someone who's not enjoying it. It's it's one of my biggest pet peeves.
I can tell pretty quickly if they're gonna hate something, I'm sure.
Oh man. And then you're just stuck.
Yep.
Ugh. Well, I would have guessed that they wouldn't like it.
I assumed going into it. Initially, I wasn't even going to show them, but I was like, I want to watch it again. And I think it's a good movie that you should watch, even if you don't like it. So I just decided to pull the trigger, and it didn't go as badly as it could have.
Well, that's good at least. At least they like... at least they weren't like actively making like vomit sounds.
Right. Which they certainly have watched. I have watched other movies with them where they'll like turn to me with a look on their face during the movie.
Yeah, I hate it, dude.
Yeah.
I can envision it.
So it's new with you.
Well, last week I told you that my washer died.
Uh-huh.
My washing machine. We got a replacement on Saturday, and the installer guy like dropped the connector thing for the dryer's like vent tube into the hole where it was going down into the crawl space. And then he said they can't go into crawl spaces.
What?
So we had to we ran it without that hose attached one time, which looked up online. That should be fine. Still made me nervous because you're like venting heat down into the abyss. Basically, I don't know if there's like insulation down there or whatever. But yeah, I had to call like 100 different people to find someone who would go hook that hose up in our crawl space. So yeah, that Home Depot guy cost me like $200 probably.
What the fuck kind of policy? We don't go into crawl spaces. Some shit had to happen.
Yeah, that's probably some insurance shit. Well, like spiders and snakes and shit like to hang out in crawl spaces. True. So they probably had some installer freak the fuck out and have a panic attack, and now they just don't do it anymore.
That one time they found a body, and now they can't go under houses anymore.
You would never catch my ass in a crawl space.
No.
I'm scared of spiders.
Yeah, fuck no.
Yeah, that's a big NO for me. But it wasn't too bad because we've had our house for like 16 years and we've never cleaned the dryer vent at all. And that's like a fire waiting to happen probably. So the people that I found to come fix that also clean the vents and stuff. So I figured, fuck it. But that was very annoying that he dropped that into the crawl space. And I was like, well, I can't go down there. See ya.
So stupid.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb. Aside from that, that was it. I just had like a decent week, I think.
I honestly can't think of too much else other than this weekend. So I guess that tells you the week was at the very least uneventful.
It was eventful when we watched the Blob II in VR.
Yes, it was.
That's one of the...
Such a fever dream.
That's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen.
Yep. I also feel like we watched it with kind of a tamer group than usual. So it was almost like we were just watching it. And I feel like it was too weird to be... I don't know, man. It was just such a weird experience.
I remember differently. I was like freaking out at stuff because it was so dumb.
No, I know we were certainly making fun of it, but like basically Steve wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was not as loud commentary. So we were just kind of watching the movie a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's true. And there was no skipping or nothing playing over top of it.
Exactly. But yeah, it really felt like just they gave like 10 different people a scene to write and then independently filmed them and at the end slapped them all together without watching any of the others.
Well, it turns out we looked it up. Someone looked it up afterwards, and they largely ignored the script.
Yeah.
So I guess nobody wrote the script. They were mostly improvising,
That makes sense.
and it showed. I remember, well, there was like a scene in a sewer where these two hippies were singing, and one was playing guitar, and they were making up a song on the spot. And I remember like mentioning, because one kept started like the same sentence like 8 times. I was like, did they write "but" in the script 8 times?
I
Uh,
have no memory of that scene.
But no, yeah. When someone said they largely ignored the script, that started to make a whole lot more sense to me. Yeah, that was what a shit show of a movie, but it was fun.
Dude. I've seen the first Blob, and I don't remember it being like that. First of all, the Blob as a creature isn't particularly terrifying.
No, it's really slow.
It's very slow, and you have plenty of time to get away from it if it starts coming at you, but these people don't. They just kind of stand there and yell at it.
I guess if it gets like any of it on you, you're fucked.
Right. It was a movie, man.
So it was a lot of like sneaking up on people. It had a very weird soundtrack.
It yanked at one point. The Blob yanked a kitten out of a window.
Yeah, like the first 5 minutes were just this. It looked like stock footage of a kitten, but then it was.
Yeah.
They had
like during the opening credits, it was the same footage of a kitten over and over again. I really thought Matt was just replaying it, but he wasn't.
With like very jovial music.
Yeah. Like tonally, the whole thing was very strange.
Very, very strange. And there was this barber scene. There was this barber shop scene where we were round to like, I want to say 10 times.
Yeah. It was so long.
It was
and the guy who played the barber was just like acting his heart out.
He was going all in, and he was charging like $400 for a haircut.
And the client was like, okay, yeah.
There you go. I was like, what the fuck? It was in the middle of nowhere, too. It was like some shit town. And this barber's charging $400 to take like an inch off the top.
And there was a weird amount of sexual tension between the barber and the client.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were definitely interested in fucking each other.
I recommend watching it. Just because it's an adventure.
Maybe do a substance beforehand.
Yeah, and watch it with friends.
Yeah, definitely watch it with friends. Miriam and I watched A League of Their Own in its entirety.
Wow.
This is actually on the list later, but I feel like I'll just talk about it now, save some time.
Before you do, are you a big fan of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I love the movie.
Okay.
That said, this show is like nothing like the movie at all.
Yeah.
Which is a little jarring at first.
Yeah.
Like overall, I think we give it like a 7 out of 10, but it's super. I knew when I went to IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, when I went hunting for the ratings, I was like, this is going to get panned because it's super anachronistic. There's a lot of like modern language, and it's about, they really focus on the LGBT, good Lord, help me.
All of the letters, yes. Wait, what
bad
era
at the letters.
LGBTQIA+?
plus. Thank you. Yes.
What decade is it set in? Is it supposed to be modern?
It's 40s, so it's during World War II.
Huh.
And if have you ever seen the movie?
I've seen some of the movie.
Okay, so the movie is about like 2 sisters, and it's like got a wholesome Disney vibe about it.
Yeah.
It's like a family thing. So like I like the show, but I'm curious about the business decision they made to go in the direction that they did, because you can't watch this shit with kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But on the other hand, it's really weird because it's super horny, but they never really show the sex scenes that much. It's like a bunch of girl on girl kissing.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You got a female baseball team. Why not make it horny?
Yeah, and I would say like probably half of the team is gay.
Does it feel organic, or does it feel kind of exploitative? Like, hey, we have to work with just a team full of women, so they should all be kissing each other.
Dude, it's really hard to say. Baseball is secondary to the story for sure, though. I I don't know if it's exploitative, and I don't know enough history. Like, basically, I don't know enough gay history in general.
Yeah.
But I don't know what was going on in the 40s, but they seem to be way too public with it. Like, I would expect in the 40s, you wouldn't
certainly
fuck
not.
around with that information about yourself, is what I mean.
Yeah.
And they're like kissing outdoors, holding hands outdoors, stuff like that. And I feel like
Yeah, not in the 40s.
in the 40s, you wouldn't want to do that.
Right.
They covered there's like some violence, some like hate crime stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it. The show itself is good, but the problem that they're going to run into is a decision that I'm not sure why they made it. And it's that the movie was big for my generation, which is like late millennials, a lot of whom have kids now.
Right.
So you would expect that if they would take that IP, that League of Their Own, like that story, that they would point it towards families, because you would think that the audience would be like elder millennials showing their, like, passing it down to their daughters and stuff.
Maybe they were just targeting the elder millennials and tried to going for the nostalgia rather than the, like, passing it down.
Yeah, but even then, they're like, it's for a Gen Z audience.
So yeah, it sounds like a CW version of A League of Their Own.
Yeah, but super hard language. So it's like, it's R-rated for sure, but in the scenes where they could turn the horny up, it's subdued. Like, it almost felt like they got a note not to show the gay sex.
Interesting.
But there is a lot of kissing. So it's like I don't know, it's kind of it's weird.
Yeah.
It's enough to be distracting, but overall I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Like, the show itself is good. The only thing I didn't like that much is that the baseball was secondary to the rest of the story. And not all of the characters were fleshed out as good as they should have been, but there are really great characters in it. Okay. And the other thing is that they use CG on throws that is so bad that I laughed out loud multiple times. And if you watch this,
that's so unnecessary. Just have someone good at hitting a baseball hit a baseball for you.
So the batting wasn't too bad. It was the throws. Anytime they showed someone like pitching, it looked so unnatural. Oh my God. And if someone, definitely when they were throwing from the outfield, it looked ridiculous. Like, oh God. Yeah.
I really wonder if, like, people have more of a suspension of disbelief than we do and they're okay with this, but I really don't think so. I feel like when you use CG like that to a really unnecessary degree, you're, like, assuming that the audience is way dumber than it is.
It might be out of necessity, because you got like a bunch of theater kids who probably hate sports.
But I mean, you can show, like, you can cut around it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like there are a lot more practical ways to make throwing a baseball work without resorting to a super fake looking one.
It's true, but good God, it looked bad. Like, I'm sure they could have made it look better. I don't know what they were doing, but it was so bad that I laughed. We watched episode 5 of The Rehearsal.
We did.
Nathan Fielder is insane.
It was not as wild as a lot of the other episodes, because I feel like it was more paying off what had already been established, rather than, like, introducing new stuff, which was good because there's so many layers to this show.
Yeah, I think it was taking shots at religion.
Oh, for sure.
And it was so funny.
Yeah.
Because he was like, Judaism to the rescue.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he was like, nope, they're crazy too.
Yep.
They can be nuts too.
Right.
That was, yeah, I really liked that episode. It was the cringiest, maybe, I think.
It also started out with a sketch of him and his fake son eating poop.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just right out the gate.
And his fake wife couldn't handle it.
Right.
She couldn't handle that it was like they weren't actually eating poop.
Right. It was this, I think it was just like a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
But like a very not mom reaction. You know, if you were actually that kid's mom, you would be like, oh, wow, good job, honey. But
Yeah,
she
you
was just
probably
like,
play
that's
into it.
disgusting.
Yeah, she was like, that's what Satanists do.
Yeah.
Satanists eat poop. We don't
Oh,
eat poop.
man. I'm still so curious as to how they're gonna wrap this all up. I'm not I know that we're pretty sure that this is all real and these are not actually actors, all the crazy people that is. But
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to be revealed that they actually are and it's all fake.
We're gonna find out on Friday. I kind of can't wait. It's such a short season that
I know.
he's got to have something weird for the finale,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah. It'll be good, whatever it is. I really thought going in that I wouldn't be able to watch this show because it would be so cringy.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if all the episodes were like the first one, it might have gotten to that point for me. But it's just so off the rails so quickly and so unpredictable that it's just like such a spectacle to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's one of the most unique shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy.
Even
and
compared to Nathan For You, it's so different.
yeah. I think it's more wholesome than Nathan For You. Nathan For You is like a tacky almost.
Yeah. Nathan For You is more of a Borat.
Yeah. We watched season 1 of Derry Girls, which I've never seen before.
We did. I think I made the mistake of just kind of passively watching it while I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I wasn't doing like story stuff. I was just kind of riding around on the horse, but I was still distracted enough not to fully take in what was happening.
Yeah.
And they all have like very, very thick Irish accents and speak in a lot of Irish slang. So it's like if you're not really paying attention, you're not gonna understand what's happening.
The thing is, like, a weird thing is happening to me where I actually have problems with accents. But the company that I work for got bought by an Irish company like a year ago. And I remember having meetings like at the beginning of that acquisition where I didn't understand a fucking word some people were saying. Like their accents were so thick. But now when we were watching Derry Girls, I didn't need subtitles.
Wow.
And it was like one of those you ever watched a movie where someone's like transitioned from Spanish into English and it's like it's really hard to explain. So Prey did it with Comanche. So how they're speaking Comanche at the beginning and then it just transitions into English, but you understand that they're still speaking Comanche.
Right, yes.
That's what this felt like to me. Watching it, like, over the year, I've met with and talked with so many Irish people that I understand it now. So I didn't have any trouble with the accents.
I don't have a hard time with the accents as much as just the slang.
Yeah. The slang is fun, though.
It is fun. It's just like, if you're kind of passively watching,
yeah,
you'll be like, wait, what the fuck did they just say?
That show, I didn't know what to expect. Our friends Lexi and Rob.
And Beth.
Well, Lexi and Rob brought it up to me when we were watching Sing Street. Because I watched that with you and Beth, and then I watched it with Rob and Lexi because Rob's Irish and I wanted to make fun of him. But they like really loved Sing Street, and they were like, "Have you seen Derry Girls?" And I'd never heard of it. And then it turns out Beth liked it too, or wanted to watch it too.
She had seen it already and really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I didn't know what to expect going in, but it was like actually really funny. And it's got that UK season format that I really like, actually, that it's like 30 minutes long and there's 6 episodes, so you can plow through it real fast.
Yeah. I'm not in yet, but that's again my fault. Also, because they kept missing stuff, like when you, like, I guess at the end of episodes, they kept throwing in something emotional.
Yes.
And it would happen, and you'd all be like, oh man, why'd they have to do that? And I'd be like, what just happened?
The end of season 1 made me cry. It got me.
I missed stuff, I guess, because I did not understand that anything emotional was happening.
It was fucking hardcore, dude. It got me good.
Well, I'm going to have to rewatch it before going on, just so I can process in my own time.
It shouldn't take too long.
No.
Really shouldn't. That it was quick. I think it was like 2.5 hours or something. We
Yeah,
watched
I'll
that in.
marathon it.
But yeah, especially as an '80s kid, because Derry Girls is set in the early '90s, I think, like late '80s, early '90s. But it's around when shit was popping off with the IRA, like Northern Ireland and England were beefing real hard.
Yeah.
And it was bad. I think Ireland was beefing actually with Ireland. I think it was like Catholics and Protestants. But yeah, the show kind of lives in a microcosm in that time, and that scene that I was talking about that made me cry was like pulled from that.
Oh, okay.
And it did it in a really poignant way because it was kind of like it's a funny show. It's a really funny show, and then the main thing is comedy. But then they show you the reality of the world. All of a sudden, it hits you like a fucking ton of bricks. It was, I don't know, it was very good how they did it.
I almost want to be like, no spoilers, even though I was watching it at the same time.
Nah. Well, we're going to watch a season every Thursday till we're done. Yep. There's 3 seasons, so you got till Thursday to catch up for season 2.
Okay, sounds good. Like I said earlier, I watched Thor: Love and Thunder in theaters, which I super wasn't sure what to expect because I heard pretty much nothing about it, which isn't generally a good sign with Marvel movies.
I heard nothing but bad things about it.
I heard a couple people that had seen it not enjoy it, but I think so. First of all, I'll say the Thor franchise is probably my favorite, maybe even right behind I don't know, right behind or right next to the Captain America series.
Yeah.
But like for very different reasons, because Thor has generally been more tongue-in-cheek. It's like sillier.
And
so
Captain
I
America, you want to fuck Bucky Barnes.
Well, yeah. But I also just like a drama. But
yeah, but Bucky Barnes though.
Well, yeah, obviously. But then Thor, I want to fuck Loki, so, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ragnarok is like my favorite Marvel movie, so I knew it wasn't going to totally compare, but it's still directed by Taika, so I knew that I'd still enjoy it regardless. And I think I really did like it. It was a strange tone because it does kind of start off with that Marvel rainbow barf that we were talking about after Doctor Strange, but it kind of gradually gets kind of darker, and like I was full on crying in the theater at one point. And I think, again, this is probably an unpopular opinion. I'm just more biased towards anything Taika puts out and anything Thor related.
Right.
But even like, I remember when it was the trailers for it were first coming out and seeing Christian Bale in the Gore the God Killer makeup, and I was like, oh, that looks stupid. But I think it really, really worked in the movie. It worked for me. Genuinely, I think that he was a scarier, like creepier villain than anything in Multiverse of Madness.
That's not super surprising. Christian Bale brings it to everything he does.
100%. You know, he's a great actor, but it was also, I think, a better villain in general.
Yeah.
Because his story is like, he's a very sympathetic villain who's not even full villain. He's like under a curse. So I think he's a better character than a lot of Marvel villains because he's not just super evil for no reason.
Right, yeah.
And at one point they are in like a pantheon of gods from all different kinds of mythologies, and I thought that was just a really cool scene. The end sets up like a future Thor movie that's going to be Norse mythology versus Greek mythology.
Huh.
And that feels real cool. Russell Crowe played Zeus, which was really fun.
That's weird.
I know, but it was
I thought
so
Russell
fun.
Crowe was like out of the game.
Nah, dude, he was great. Also, they had remember in Thor Ragnarok when there's the play about the death of Loki, and they have Sam Neill playing Odin, and Yeah. So they did that again with the exact same cast, but then Melissa McCarthy played Hella. It's just like so funny.
That
Such
doesn't
a random
match.
Exactly. Like it's so random and you can just feel like Taika doing whatever the fuck he wants and just bringing in whoever he wants.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I really liked it. I think also a lot of people, and this is like a very mild spoiler kind of, but I think I'm gonna say it to save people some disappointment. So if you don't want to hear it, just skip like 20 seconds.
Uh-huh.
But I think a lot of people were disappointed because they thought this movie was going to be kind of a mashup of the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. But truthfully, the Guardians are only in like the first 5 minutes of the movie. And for
Huh.
me, that was fine. Like, I like Guardians, but I didn't need that movie because I don't need the Thor movie to feel like a Guardians movie when there's already a Guardians franchise. So, and I had gotten that warning ahead of time. So I didn't have any expectations that they'd be sticking around. But I know my mom really loves Guardians, and I think she was really disappointed that they weren't in the whole movie.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So just know that going in so you're not disappointed if that's what you were expecting.
Yeah,
Also,
I think I'm going to give that a watch when it comes out on
yeah,
streaming.
I'll watch it with you.
Cool.
One last thing. At one point, Korg refers to Thor's penis as a shy courgette. And
What
for
the
anyone
fuck?
who
What's a courgette?
Yeah, I was going to say, for anyone who doesn't watch a lot of British television or cooking shows, a courgette is an eggplant.
Oh.
You said it looks like a shy courgette.
Well.
Which made me want to die.
That's the most British shit.
Right? Which is, I think that's why they said courgette instead of eggplant, so it kind of slipped under the radar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but I liked it and I would watch it again.
You're allowed to like shit.
Thank you so much.
Nobody else did.
I know.
We come together on a huge silver screen because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get feels good in a place like this.
There's one movie this week.
Before we get to it, real quick, before the Thor movie, there were coming attractions. And one of them was interesting. It was not even a full trailer. It was literally like a 15-second teaser for a movie called Smile that
why does that ring a bell?
I don't know, because it didn't for me. And the whole teaser is like, it looks like it takes place in a hospital. And there's a doctor walking past a patient room, and as she walks past the room, there's a guy sitting on the exam table facing the door, just staring blankly with a huge smile on his face.
Yeah.
And that was enough to make me like squirm in my seat. I was like, oh, no. And she like she does a double take and then walks in the room towards him closer and closer. And I was like, no, don't go near that. So just from that, like, that was a very effective, creepy trailer. I have no idea. Like, it didn't tell you anything about the movie. I guess
we're watching Smile eventually.
So I looked it up on IMDb, and the plot synopsis is: after witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter starts experiencing frightening occurrences that she can't explain. Rose must confront her troubling past in order to survive and escape her horrifying new reality. And it comes out on September 30th. So again, I don't necessarily have super high hopes that it's going to be a great movie, but it was a very effective teaser.
We'll probably cover that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm going to watch that teaser after the show because I want to see the weird man smile.
Yep.
There's one movie this week coming out to theaters nationwide on August 19th, which is so weird because there were like 5 last week. So I don't know what changed. But it's an Idris Elba movie called Beast. It's an adventure drama horror. Father and his 2 teenage daughters find themselves hunted by a massive rogue lion intent on proving that the savannah has but one apex predator.
I don't like movies where the antagonist is just an animal, like a real animal.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen movies where they do that with bears and wolves, and it's like, just don't be in their territory. I'm always going to take the animal side.
Yeah. That said, it's like, it looked pretty. I
Yeah.
watched the trailer.
I like Idris Elba.
The premise is boring,
Yeah.
but it looked pretty. So maybe it's good. I have no clue. Probably not. They just, because I haven't heard anything about it. I
No.
would have never heard about it if I wasn't doing research.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. And let's just not guess the rating. Who cares?
No, I do not care.
There is, however, a fuck ton of stuff on streaming this week that's new.
The first one you have here is She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which I'll say right now, I'm never gonna watch.
No, not unless people tell me it's amazing.
Even if they do, I will not.
If it's amazing, I might. There was something.
It's called She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Do you think it's gonna be amazing?
So Tatiana Maslany is a really good actress. So
she is, but
it
doesn't
could-
mean much.
It's not gonna be good. Because they did that one teaser like several months ago and people shit all over the CG.
Mm-hmm.
And they did another trailer and the CG is still bad.
Yes, it is.
So I don't know about it.
Nope.
That said, this is gonna be out the day this podcast comes out on August 17th. So if you want to give it a shot, you're better than me.
Yeah, if you want to tell us that it's a great show and change our minds about it, feel free.
I was trying to remember. Someone told me they based all the dialogue on something else, and I can't remember what the something else was, but it made me like cringe.
I think that might have been when I said that some of the writing was influenced by Fleabag, which doesn't make sense to me, and I don't like that because I love Fleabag.
That's when I was totally out. That's right.
Yeah.
Because they'll never get that right.
No,
if
absolutely
that's what they're going
not.
for.
That's a very British show that only works when it's in that context.
Also out this week was Elvis, which is a biography / drama that just came out on HBO Max.
Yes,
we did it.
Did a bonus watch along for it. And I don't think we'll normally just come out and say how we felt about a movie, but I really feel that we should warn people because I don't think that Elvis was either great or terrible, but we did find it incredibly boring.
Yeah.
And I think that will certainly come through if you listen to the watch along.
I think so.
If you're super, super pumped for this movie, or you really love it, I don't recommend necessarily listening to our watch along. But if you're like super on the fence and just want some entertainment as you watch the movie, that's what we're there for.
Yeah, we had fun with it.
We did. We made some jokes, goofs and gaffs.
If you go into it wanting to watch it to be a good movie, then nope.
Nope. Yeah, if you are the person who's going to be really bummed out if you're watching it and you're hearing people say negative things about it, then I just wouldn't.
Yeah. And it could be like that for a lot of, like, it had a 94% from audience on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think it was generally a very well-received film. We just, I think, expected it to be something else than what it was.
I totally expected it to be something completely different than what it was. They kind of like, they sugar-coated Elvis's life in it a little bit.
Yeah, they glossed over a lot of
they went over
big parts of his life. It really felt like it was done as to not offend any descendants he may have.
Yeah. My problem is that I think I knew too much about Elvis going in. So I was expecting...
But I didn't, and I still didn't like it.
Yeah, but I'd hinted at you that Elvis's life was a shit show and to like buckle up. And they really didn't go into the shit showiness of it all.
No, a lot of it has to do with That and also his relationship with his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, who was
much
too
screen
big a
time.
part of
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, Tom Parker has too much screen time.
Mhm.
But it's written and directed by Baz Luhrmann, who does batshit things. The editing was really fun. They went ham on the editing.
Someone commented on my post warning people that we didn't like it and said, I enjoyed it except for the editing. And I was like, oh, that's the only part we liked.
Yeah, that's the part I had the most fun with because it was, I don't know, a lot of TLC involved. You could tell that the editor was having fun.
Right, yeah. It might have been the only person having fun.
Yeah. Anyway, give that a look. The whole world seems to love it.
Yeah,
So
we
maybe
could
you
be
will
dead
too.
wrong. Just, I guess, don't expect it to be a salacious tell-all.
Yeah, about the fun parts of his life.
Right.
A League of Their Own, we talked about a lot earlier. That's out. Would recommend, but not if you're looking to show it to your kids. Next up is This Fool, which is a comedy on Hulu. I meant to watch some of this and I forgot. I was gonna try to watch some before the show. I might watch it later.
I've not heard of this.
I had heard about it a little bit, and then I saw Mike tweet about it, and I asked Mike Falzone in Fortnite if he had watched any of it.
You know, Mike Falzone of Fortnite fame.
You know Mike Falzone from Fortnite. He's a comedian, and I know the comedian that stars in this show is Chris Estrada. So I was interested in whether or not Mike had watched it because I saw him retweet something about it, and Mike said that he had, and that he had a really good time. So that's an official, what do you call it?
Endorsement?
Thank you. Why couldn't I think of that word? So that's an official endorsement from Mike Falzone to watch This Fool, which is
Not sponsored.
Julio Lopez, a punk ass bitch with a heart of gold who goes out of his way to help everyone but himself.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that.
I probably won't.
The next one on our list is Day Shift,
which is also gonna be our watch along.
That's a spoiler. Why are you spoiling?
Why would I know? It's not a spoiler.
You're doing spoilers for the show. We were gonna say we're gonna say later what we were watching.
Oh, I just didn't think we'd talk about it without saying it's gonna be our watch along later. Like, don't watch it without us is what I want to say.
Yeah. So Day Shift, it's an action comedy fantasy on Netflix. A hardworking blue-collar dad who just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 8-year-old daughter. His mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is a front for his real source of income, hunting and killing vampires. This was directed by J.J. Perry, and I thought this was fun. He's a stuntman. This is his only directorial credit.
Why do you want to watch this so bad?
Dude, because, okay, it's got Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg in it. I love Jamie Foxx.
Neither of those makes me want to watch it.
Jamie Foxx is almost never missed for me. He's so fucking funny. Dave Franco's also in it.
Again, doesn't bode well for me.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people talking about this movie say it was good, but I also talked to Steve Zaragoza tonight and he hated it. So we're going to see about it. It should be a fun watch along though. It was written by Tyler Tice, their only credit on IMDb. So directed by a stuntman and one credit at all for the writer.
Jesse, you owe me.
What do I?
We're watching fucking Newsies after this.
Okay.
Or a movie of my choosing.
Well, I thought Newsies was gonna be for the Hate Watch Parade,
which we never set a start date for, so it could be.
We gotta do Hate Watch Parade prep at some point.
So I guess we'll say if we do not come up with something that's newly released and that we want to see, next week will be my choice.
Okay. You're going to get us dinged on YouTube, though, because you're going to sing to all the songs.
No, I can't because I'm like slightly behind you, so it won't work.
Maybe it'll be funny that way.
No.
Next thing on the list is Dawn. This is a horror video on demand thing that I found. An unsuspecting couple get into a rideshare only to find out that they may have to fight for their lives as the deranged driver puts them through life and death situations.
That
I-
plot synopsis feels like, how can we make a horror movie about modern conveniences?
It does, but there's a few things, like when I was doing research, this did not show up on any lists really. I kind of like stumbled across it, but all signs point to it actually being maybe like a good hidden gem. And the runtime's like 1 hour 17. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah, you just give it a shot and see if you like it. And it's directed by Nicholas Ryan. This is his only directing credit, but he produced the film, and most of his credits were for additional crew, which means this guy is trying to make it in Hollywood, and I always like that. This feels like a passion project, like he probably like self-funded it.
Which could go either way.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the times, if you've got someone like just working on crews, just trying to like hover around film, if they're going to spend their money, they probably spend it wisely a lot of the time. And the fact
I appreciate how much you dig into the director and writer, because I guess I never really thought about how, like, I never thought to look into all of their past credits and like put together a story of their life and where they're coming from like you do. But it's good because it really does give you an interesting idea of how the film might be, rather than just looking at past movies they've directed.
Yeah, I think it tells a story. And it's and I've been studying screenwriting. So there's like for a decade or more. So there's like a part of me that wants to do what these people are doing, and that helps. So like when I look and I see like there's like 5 or 6 indie horror sites that were really saying this is a great thing, and then I look and this is his only credit for directing, but he produced it. That says a lot to me. Like he threw his money in the ring.
Yeah.
So he must love it, and the indie sites seem to love it. So I bet this movie Dawn is good. So I'm gonna check this one out.
I trust stuff like that more than just a major production company slapping out something to make a buck.
Yeah. And I also like that it's only an hour 17. You're not like throwing your whole life away.
Right. That's something I can commit to.
Yeah. The next thing on the list is I Love My Dad. It's a comedy, Paramount Plus. A hopelessly I fucked it up.
A hopelessly estranged father catfishes his son in attempt to reconnect, which sounds problematic.
It does. The trailer reeled me in a little bit just because of that premise is so fucking weird.
Yeah.
But it's starring Patton Oswalt and James Maraschini, who wrote and directed it. But it looks a little indie. But the premise is interesting enough that I kind of want to watch it because that sounds like a train wreck.
That'll be one that I'll hold off until you tell me how it is.
Yeah, and I might never get to it. So
fine.
If you guys get to it, let us know. Tales of the Walking Dead.
I don't care.
Listed as fantasy on AMC Plus. And episodic.
Fantasy?
Yeah, I don't know why fantasy.
That's weird.
Day Shift was also listed as fantasy when I feel like it probably should have been listed as horror.
I feel like sometimes that's because they don't want to scare prospective watchers away by using the tag horror.
Yeah,
but for something like Walking Dead, I think you know what you're getting into.
That's what I'm saying. I had the same exact reaction when I looked this up. I was like, fantasy?
Yeah.
That's not fantasy. An episodic anthology that will follow individual characters from the Walking Dead TV universe, both new and old. I'm not a Walking Dead guy.
I'm not, but I think I'm not either. But I think if you are, the prospect of potentially following an old character might be fun.
Yeah. Starring Terry Crews, who I love, but I could do without. He's hit and miss for me, and he can like get old in a hurry.
Yeah.
Parker Posey, who is just a hit. I had a big old crush on her. She's Darla from Dazed and Confused. I didn't have a crush on that character. She's kind of bitchy. And Olivia Munn, who is poisonous to me. I don't like Olivia Munn one bit.
Ooh,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch that anyway. I'm not a Walking Dead man.
no. There's a big universe now of Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah. The next one is there's so much shit came out this week. Rogue Agent, which is a drama thriller on AMC Plus. The extraordinary and chilling story of a career con man, Robert Freegard, who masqueraded as an MI5 agent and fooled people into going into hiding, and the woman who fell for him and then brought him down. Starring Gemma Arterton, maybe? I don't know. She played Gemma Bovary, which I've heard about.
I have not.
That's a period piece thing. And she's been in a million other things. James Norton from Little Women, and Sarah Goldberg, who is the worst part of Barry. And on my notes, I made the worst part real small.
You did?
Yeah, I hate her fucking character. If Barry's like a 9 out of 10, if she wasn't in it, it'd be like a 12 out of 10. I fucking hate her. Her character is real bad.
This movie just seems like really cookie cutter.
Yeah, it is. I don't think there's anything special about it whatsoever.
Wow, look at this. We're on the last one.
We are.
It's called Secret Headquarters, which is an action-adventure comedy on Paramount Plus. While hanging out after school, Charlie and his friends discover the headquarters of the world's most powerful superhero hidden beneath his home. When villains attack, they must team up to defend the headquarters and save the world.
This is kid shit.
It is kid shit. But it also has Owen Wilson.
Yeah, that's why I put it up here. It's
Interesting.
Rated PG. It's got a 7.7 on IMDb. It might be good kid shit. I don't mind good kid shit every now and again.
It's a cute premise for a kid movie.
I'll watch Spy Kids as a goddamn adult right now.
Oh, heck yeah.
So yeah, that's why I put this one on here. It looks promising. Secret Headquarters. So if you're feeling like a little...
what would happen if you discovered that there was a secret headquarters for the world's most famous hero under your own house? Would you be like, go down there and offer him dinner?
No, I don't like people.
But he's the world's most famous superhero.
I don't give a fuck. I don't even like talking to DoorDash people. He can just be down there forever.
Yeah.
He could be down there. I'll be up here.
Him. I'd try to. Yeah. It depends. If it's like, if we're talking, in comparing to superheroes that we have, if it's like Superman, I don't give a shit.
Right.
But if it's someone more interesting, maybe.
Oh, hey, can I, speaking of DoorDash,
did
you see the thing I tweeted earlier today?
No.
Okay. I'm going to do a little sidebar.
Okay.
I ordered something on Instacart this morning. Like Miriam wanted something, and I was like, I'll just get a breakfast thing. So I was ordering from Instacart, and I get a message from the Instacart shopper, and it says, "This is your Instacart shopper, and I'm about to guac your world. Just in case so you have any special requests or need to make changes, do not hesitate to ask.
No.
I'll be sure to let you know when I'm finished shopping. Until then, remain calm."
Good God.
And carry it on.
I hate it.
And I said, it's too early, Mitchell. Because it was like fucking 8 a.m. This guy's going hard with the puns.
Did he reply to you?
Yeah, he did like the cry laugh emojis. And I gave him a little LOL back.
Oh my God. Dude, he copy paste that to every single
yes,
person.
I know.
Yeah.
I hate that shit so much.
I do too, man.
It does not have the intended effect on me.
That's some toxic positivity.
Yeah, man. What is that about me though? What's that about us? Why can't people just have fun?
No, that's gross. I don't know.
But I got angry. I was like, don't do that to me at 8 a.m.
I think part of it is like, Instacart, you're using Instacart because you don't want to go to a grocery store. So you expect it to be a relatively impersonal transaction.
Yeah.
And then when someone is just hitting you with so much energy.
Yeah.
It's really jarring.
Oh man, there was another one. I had this email from Chewy that was in the same lane, and I hated it, dude. I'm not the target audience for that shit.
No.
I don't like joy.
No.
I don't want joy.
That's like whenever I used at my old job and a couple coworkers at this new job too, they'll occasionally on Fridays say Happy Fry-yay, and it makes me so angry.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I don't like that
I was
either.
like, well, it was.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
No.
Hey, what are we watching this week?
Well, that would be Day Shift.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one.
I haven't. I'm actually kind of dreading it, but I think it will make for good podcast material.
I'm hoping it's fun. Me and Steve diverge a lot of the time. We agree on a lot of stuff though, and that part's scary. So hopefully Steve hating it doesn't mean I'm gonna hate it too. And I asked him if it was fun, and he said no, and I said, "Uh-oh."
Oh no. I think that doesn't bode well.
I think we might have a good time. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say it was fun.
I would really love to enjoy something we watch on a watch along because it's been a while.
Me too. Our friend Shannon tonight asked me, what's the like introductory watch along? Like, what's the one that you think is the best? And I really struggled. I was like, we've done a really good watch along, like a really fun time?
Yeah, I think the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That's the one that I gave her.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that we have fun with Morbius too, but that movie's a shit show.
I think the commentary for both Morbius and The Meg were fun.
Yeah.
But not the movies themselves.
Yeah, and I think we also had fun with Elvis too.
We did.
But if you want to enjoy that movie, you're going to be annoyed by us.
Yeah. And I think if you are just genuinely looking to watch a good movie but don't want to be by yourself, then the movie you're going to watch is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was fun. That was good and fun.
Yeah, but it is long.
Yep. Cool. So we're going to watch Day Shift, and you can look for that on Friday at 7 a.m. And if you want to, you can go to www.idiots.fm and click on the YouTube link and give us a subscription. That would be nice.
So we can have a name.
Yeah, we got to have a name. Why don't you give us... Hey, everybody out there, why don't you help us have a name about it?
Name us Daddy.
No, don't say it like that. Nah,
I regretted it immediately.
I hated that I clicked the outro music right when you did that, because that's going to be the last thing people hear.
Name us Daddy.
No, you did it again. You really just went for it again. I don't know why, because it didn't work the first time. Didn't work the second time. No, still. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
No, didn't like it.
You've been listening to Two Idiots Talking Over Stuff, produced by Jesse Stillwell, with original theme and outro music by Jesse Stillwell. For more information, you can visit www.idiots.fm or reach out directly via email to contact@idiots.fm.